Right, welcome back people of YouTubes. Going to be doing a couple of little bits and pieces on the Metro today. The last Metro video was doing the exhaust, learning how to TIG weld. I'm really annoyed at myself because I continued on making the entire downpipe, but I've deleted the footage when I was doing the XR3i inner wing video somehow. I don't know how, but the downpipe is all done and completed. I'll take that off a little later on anyway and show you, and you can clearly see the difference in the welding from when I first started welding to the last bit of welding is like night and day difference. So I'm really pleased at how that's going now. We've got it on at the minute. That all starts and runs. I'll just give you a little demonstration. A little bit spluttery because it's like 3 degrees outside, so it's not much warmer in here, to be honest with you. I've got all the heaters going, trying to warm the place up, but yeah, that's struggling. So in this video, what I want to do is, now I've got all that downpipe fitted, I don't really want to build the front end back up yet, purely because I've got a bit of an oil leak from the rear crank main oil seal. So I think before we get any further, and while we've got loads of access at the front here, at the top here, I think I'm just going to whip the gearbox out. There's only 4 bolts holding it in because whoever put it in obviously didn't use all the bolts. So yeah, there's literally 2 bolts at the top. There's 1 bolt at the front, 1 bolt at the back, and then there's the starter motor that holds, but it don't really hold up to the engine, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's make a start. Let's get this gearbox out. I don't think I'm going to go too in depth in it. Just going to be like a little quick update video in getting that gearbox out, the rear main seal put in, and then gearbox back in, and then we might take this downpipe off. I'll show you that as well, and get all that wrapped up, get that on, and perhaps get the alternate or the radiator all back on. So let's make a start and let's get going. Right, so that's dry shafts out, oil drained as well. I'll show you the state of the oil in a minute. So I'm really struggling with room in here at the minute. just purely because I haven't got a small tripod with me at this precise moment of time. So a couple of things that we need to do. All these Bellhausen bolts at the bottom are missing, so we ain't got nothing to do here. We will put some in, but I'm gonna have to order some. We've got that big bolt there that needs to come out, 18mm, that goes into the gearbox. We need to take this shifter bush out, and it's looked like that's missing the metal ring washer thing that goes on that. So we'll have to find one of them. And also we need to take this linkage out here, so it's just take that clip out, and there's a roll pin that we just need to bash out, and then that comes out okay. So I'll just get them done out of the way. That'll be underneath here done then, and then we can concentrate on doing up the top. Right, that's the little bits done underneath the gear linkage and that bolt. So that's all come out, and we're pretty much done underneath there now. This is the gearbox oil that's come out. You see lots of crud in there. This thing was clean before I drained the oil into it. As you can see, there's loads of metal bits everywhere. That's all come out the gearbox. You can see the oil's very silvery, so not sure how long that gearbox is going to last, but yeah. Anyway, as we've done the rear crankshaft, I'm going to drain the engine oil as well. So I'm just going to empty this into a container and then clean that out, and then we'll drain the engine oil. We'll have a little look at that, and also we'll undo this little through bolt here, so we'll get that out of the way with. Right, lovely clean container. We'll see what this engine oil contains. Well, first inspections looked like it was really black. I don't think this has ever had an oil change since the engine was rebuilt by the previous owner. Yeah, and I suspect it's got a little bit of a rod knock issue going on as well. It's quite clear when you can rev it and hear it, but it do go away, so who knows. Right, we'll let it drain out, and then we'll have a little inspection of it. Right, that's the oil all drained out. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look very sparkly, which is a good thing. It just looks, I know it's thick because it's like cold in here. It's like 3 or 4 degrees there now. I've actually opened the garage door because it's about 8 or 9 degrees outside, so I'm just letting some heat in from outside really. But all looks good, although being a bit thick. Oil filter off. I'll put a new one on. So new engine oil filter, genuine MG Rover one. What else have I done? Undone that front bolt there. I've taken the clutch cable off, and the speedo cable, the start motor as well. So the only thing holding it in now is this engine mount and the 2 bolts at the top here. So I'm literally just gonna crack on, get them done. Oh, I'm missing a bolt there as well, look, next to the earth strap. The amount of bolts I'm missing is bloody ridiculous. So yeah, let me just prop you up somewhere, and then we'll just get this done, and hopefully get the box out. Right, that's the gearbox all out ish. Trying to wrestle it through. It's normally on an F you can wedge it up inside this between the subframe and the body, but being a Metro I don't want to do that, so could do with another jack really. That's what I could do with. Right, let's see if we can either get this out or get it into a position where it's not going to fall on my face. Right, I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so that's the clutch and flywheel off. When I undone the flywheel bolt, a load of oil come out of here, which is quite normal for these, but it's very difficult now to see whether it's crankshaft still leaking or the sump gasket leaking. You can see it's like the bit in between, like the two block faces are dry, so they ain't coming out there, which is a bonus. But yeah, I don't know whether it's the crankshaft seal now or the sump gasket or not. So we're just going to go and replace the crankshaft seal anyway, just because we're here now, and if we need to do the sump gasket at any point, then that's relatively easy anyway, so we can do that with all the boxes in place anyway. The only thing I will say is it looks like there's some sort of paper gasket in between the sump and the block, and it should be a like a sealant type thing that seals with absence of air. So yeah, I'm not really too sure now what to do, but well, I will just replace this crankshaft seal and see if it still leaks, and if it does, then we know it's going to be the sump gasket. So we'll just do that, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'll just pick this one out and then have a look and get the new one in. Probably won't be able to finish this job today because I need to order a few bolts and stuff. Now I'm not really too sure whether the clutch had 5 bolts in or I undone 6 and lost a bolt, but I've had to tidy up and can't see it, so yeah, we've got 5 clutch bolts there. I can't remember dropping one or losing one, and I can't really remember if I've undone 6 bolts or 5 bolts now. So yeah, as I say, I've had a little bit of clear up of tools and stuff, and I can't see it anywhere. So yeah, I find it difficult that had no really vibration from the clutch with just 5 bolts in, because normally I don't sit very flush and they vibrate like mad. But the clutch is in fairly good condition. Looks like a recent Borg & Beck one, so that looks alright. The flywheel looks okay. There's a little bit of a lip going on there, but nothing really too drastic. You can see where that, when I took that bolt out, where it leaked. Let's just have a look at the back of the flywheel. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting the back of the flywheel to be a lot wetter than that, considering that the crankshaft seal leaks, but yeah, we'll just replace it anyway, just out of precaution, and then if it still leaks, then we know we need to do some gasket. But I can't do some gasket without the gearbox on, if that makes sense. Purely because I'm using the sump to support the engine at the minute, and you have to take the lower rear engine mount out as well, so that'd only be supporting on that mount, and there's nothing underneath to support the rest of the engine until the gearbox is on. So yeah, I'm not really too sure if we can get the sump out past the subframe. I think you can, but I'm pretty sure I've done one on an MGF before, where I've put a sump baffle in something with the engine in place, so I'm pretty sure we can get that out. So yeah, let's get this new seal. I hope I brought it with me anyway. Yeah, I did. So again, just a new genuine Rover one. I'll say Rover. It's an X part repack, so someone's had it out by the looks of it. Yeah, so that's probably not going to seal anyway, is that? I should have checked that really before I carried on, but we'll whack it in anyway and see what happens. If the when we do a engine oil change on it, if that rod knock stuff don't go, then I'll end up pulling the engine anyway and just rebuilding it. So right, I still catch my breath. You see I've tied the gearbox up there with a bungee strap so it ain't going to drop on me, but we need to clean out all that gearbox oil and also the engine oil from the from down there as well. So I'll pick this camera up probably in about an hour. Right, that's the new crank seal in, everything all cleaned up. Inside the box is cleaned up, well, as good as I can get it really with the tools that I've got. I've literally got a can of brake cleaner and these compressed air gas duster things. I haven't got a compressor at home, so yeah, we've done as good as we can. Hopefully next few hours that'll all be evaporated away anyway. The rear crank seal that I took out, can't really see anything wrong with it. The spring's still in there. That looked like to be a new one when the engine's put back together, so that was another fear that I had, that old gaskets were used, because a lot of people do that. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here, to be honest with you. I've got to make an order on some bolts and stuff. Might as well, as I'm doing bolt order, I might as well do some new flywheel bolts, some new clutch bolts. We'll reuse the clutch because that looked in really good condition. Flywheel, not too sure. I have got a lightened flywheel, but I don't think that's going to give me much of an improvement in the turbo setup to what they are in the naturally aspirated setup. So yeah, I think I'll just leave it here. I'll make an order of some bolts. I need to get another cross member because that's all rotted away on both sides, just in there, see in there. So we'll get that, we'll get all new bolts. I knackered that ball joint up trying to hit it out of the top arm, so we'll have to get another ball joint. And also the caliper sliders are C solid, so I've got some old MGF calipers from my old race car with some good race pads, so we'll stick them on. And I've got some braided lines to go on as well. I was going to do all that when I do the subframe assembly and all that sort of stuff. But another thing that I've noticed is that there's loads of play in this arm here, so I might have to put another upper arm in, but I'm not sure if I can get that pin out with that crank pulley in place or the engine in place. So we'll have to see on that. We might have to do the subframe refreshment a little bit sooner than I was anticipating, which isn't really no issue. But yeah, again, we'll leave it here. I'll pick this up next time when I've got all my bits, and then we can put it all back together again and go from there. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my downpipe as well. I'll stick some photos in at the end of the welds and stuff, but this is what it looks like. I mean, see, the beginning welds are not very nice, and then when I put this Lambert bung in, the welds are a lot nicer. And the same down here, and the same here. And I'll cover it in another video when we go to make the rear half, of why that is, but I'll put a brief description in of when I did well last time. A lot of people was commented on that how much gas flow that I had. Now the regulator said that was like 10 litres a minute, or 10 litres an hour, sorry. And but I just seemed too much. But when I ran out of gas, I then got this gas bottle, a slightly bigger gas bottle, and it's got a built-in regulator, and I set this up at nearly 13 litres a minute, or 13 litres an hour, sorry. And yeah, the welds just improved straight away just using that. So I think the regulator, my old regulator, is pretty much had it. I mean, the date on it is, replacement date is 2013, so there's a good chance that it is knackered. So yeah, but I'll cover that in another, when we go to make the rear section of the exhaust anyway. So yeah, for now I'm just gonna leave it here, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.